line. Check the radio, big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind.
You know, when you're in Las Vegas, you know you gotta have a little bit of fun around here, but you know there's also their time in it too where you just gotta kind of have a little fun and gamble your way around any part, any track, any place you can. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Today, the All-Star race for the IROC Challenge Series is about to have something a little bit different, something a little unique. Today, they're not just racing to gamble out on the track, they're gambling with the inverts, and also you at home are the one to decide their fates. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader Christian Shriver, joining you guys here tonight, Las Vegas Motor Speedway here in Las Vegas, Nevada, for the IROC Challenge Series race series, presented in part by R&R Racewear, the official merchandise store for iRacing needs and IROC Challenge Series. Big thank you to them as we prepare for our racing coverage here on the show. I'll explain everything in just a minute. But here we go. On the pole, we'll start Kevin McCann, the 33. Brian McCann will be in the 3. Aaron Smith will be in the 1. Is outside David E. Brown, the 7. Brandon Medford will pilot the 83. Is outside Neil Quick in the 2. Cook Quick in the 54. David Tremblay in the 96. Paul Buzel in the 9. Is outside Kyle Pengraff in the 14. Vincent Shore will be in that 15. Is outside teammate Brian Rose, the 89. And row number 7 will be Chris Medford in the 46, outside Tim Schofield in 12. Row number 8, Chris Wally in the 5. Carson Conway in the 82. Troy Radford in the 94. Mike Harper in the 4. Row number 10 is Doug Wysocki. 34 is outside Matt Kopp, 22. Row 11, Ray Radford in the 47. Ryan Reich in the 112. Cody Harger finalized in the 66. And that will come away with our field of drivers here today. Let's get this out of the way real quick. Let's take a look at the All-Star race rules and regulations. Here's how it goes down. We'll go to lap 20, and then the guys in the back, you final 5, you're still back there. Sayonara, we're getting you out of here. You will be eliminated from the race. Lap 45, though, we invert the field if the fans vote for it. So in the comments section below, you need to tell me yes or no. Do you want the field to be inverted? We will go to a random spin that you'll see here in a minute, and Lady Luck will press their way on. Lap 70, it's another 5 eliminated. Then 95, invert the field again. You choose the vote. 115 to the line. We will see a race winner as we bring him down off of turn number 4. It's time to go racing in Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 115 laps to the distance. Here we go. 5 drivers will be eliminated here at lap number 20. We'll get him off the start. Brian McCann will pilot on the outside. He's got to run there into the run zone. He goes looking for some speed, looking for some harmony around. He'll have the pace in the field centered right on his tail, though. Aaron Smith right now continuing to hold his line down in the bottom lane, the middle edge here. Remember, you don't need to be the guy up front right now anyway, but you don't want to be the guy put in the back of the pack. So again, down in the comment section below, you guys need to choose for me. Are you wanting to see drivers inverted or not? That will be the spin of the wheel, and I'll show you guys that in just a moment here. But right now, Matt Cobb, unfortunately, not the start he was looking for in that 22. We'll take a look at the PTM replay presented in part by R&R Racewear today. Another night skies and night lights here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Here's what happened here. And the number 22 drives a little deep in off turn number 1. Got a little too close for comfort. Try to refire it to get back on the pace because he knows he doesn't want to be in that bottom 5. And he ends up getting himself into more trouble. And he realizes. And I believe in this race here they will do the 5 that are in this race. But we will ask that question in just a moment to our advanced man, the flying colors, the man that started this madness and this chaos to begin with. He is the driver of the number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto the show, Chris Wally in the number 5 here. And Wally, great to have you on the coverage here for this IROC Challenge Series event.
Yeah, man, I think I actually caused that last incident right there. Them probably trying to figure out which way I was going to go.
From our end, could have gone either way, but Kopp looked like he had some troubles on his end too, so unfortunate for him there. But right now, as you start to get further into this field, there are 5 drivers that are going home in this one. But how is it going to be judged here when with about 21 drivers out on the track? Is it going to be 16 through on back that has to fight for it, even with the driver wrecking out?
Yeah, so the driver wrecking out, he'll actually be 1. So we've got 21 drivers, I think. Total racing, and so he'll count as one of them, but he does have a fast repair, so that's one thing. We do all have one fast repair for this all-star race event. We don't normally have that on the mile and a halfs, so he'll be back out here contending here in a moment. But yeah, the last 5 at the end of segment 1, which ends at lap 20, they'll actually be eliminated.
Don't want to be that bottom 5 in lap 20, as we've mentioned and shown before here on the show with the rules. This will certainly be an interesting obstacle for these drivers to master. Thank you again for your time down there, Chris Wally.
Yes, sir. Make sure y'all vote for the invert if y'all want to see that for the next couple stages.
We have 3 for the invert, 1 for no on the invert. We'll see from there.
All right. Appreciate y'all.
Right now, the votes are coming in. Again, pick your vote. 2's down in the comment section below. Do you want to see the inverted end? You're going to see that wheel. I'm making sure about that. I put some work into that wheel today, by the way. I had to call up the most fine showgirls and the finest people to help me out with this. I made sure we have ourselves a race wheel made up for these drivers to see. I was going to bring another driver into the spotlight here, and looks like I will get that chance here. Neil Quick. Looks like he will be our next man up on the lineup here. So let's take it down here and talk. That number 2 driver came so close to being the number 1 seed from the regular season championships and the race win there, but unfortunately got bumped down by Brian McCann. Neil, good to have you back on the show here, sir.
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. So right now, obviously, we talked just a minute ago about regular season racing. You guys take a week off to give yourself some kind of breathers and all that. And I mean, how much did that breather kind of help you regain focus and traction to get back at it and try to knock everyone down here in this All-Stars race?
It's a good reset button, and there is nothing to lose tonight, so it's all on the table.
Certainly is indeed. Now, let me ask you this as well. I know we got a few laps only on the track, but how is the track holding up under the night skies? Because it seems like the weather is kind of keeping this track nice and chill for the moment.
Yeah, I would love to see it have a little bit more grip on the beginning of the run. The tires come in pretty nicely, and then you're okay after that. But I'm gonna tell you, the first 10 laps are pretty sketchy out there.
They certainly are indeed. Well, nevertheless, we do appreciate coming on board here, bud. Best of luck as we get you back into the race.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, the number 2 here. Looks like some of you guys down there really wanted to hear from him. We're going to bring him in as we come along for the ride. Thank you so much for tuning in and commenting down below if you want to see the inverts. Right now, if I'm judging, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for the invert and 1, 2, 3 for no on the invert. Oh, you guys don't want to see the wheel spun and invert the drivers? Oh, come on, guys. We gotta have a little fun with this. We gotta make it fun for these drivers. I have made my vote. I put invert. I probably cheated a little bit, so I will say it's 3 and 3 right now. But right now, we're going to put this one down on the track here, down in turn number 1 and 2. Ryan McCann, the regular season championship stakes holder, is the number 1 seed entering into this race here with his brother Kevin McCann on that outside line. It's going to be a hard throw and action-packed little duel between these drivers as we have a lot of folks coming on in with us. Thank you so much, Derek Pope, for coming on board in. Michael Fraz Rose coming on board. Stacy Lehman Quick coming on board. Jim Pottle actually just winning a race on FKN Broadcasting. Nice job there and congratulations on your race win. And Olivia McDermott, Taylor Quick, thank you all so much for joining us today here on the night lights at Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas Motor Speedway is about to take place and take shape yet again as our drivers prepare for the run ahead. Remember, 16 to 21 will be eliminated in this next go around, and then we'll go another couple laps and then invert the field again, and invert the field if you choose. You, the viewers, have the control. You have the power. Do you want to see it? Do you want it? You tell us down below as we bring the green flag back on out. Here we go. Field going to march their way on around yet again. Kyle Pengraf having a little bit of a tussle here with that 15 of Vincent Short right behind him. Vincent with the Holler Boys team trying to holler his way up ahead of the packs. Again, drivers may take it a little conservatively here up in the middle half, top half for now. Again, they don't want to be the ones in the back of the outhouse. They want to be closer towards maybe the Senate pack, a little bit of the White House, as we got trouble down there yet again. Drivers all over the place here, unfortunately, as we got one in the grass. Apparently, Chris Wally wanted to open up his own lawn care service down there. Looks like problems for the 94 Troy Radford here, a former winner here on the show. And that'll slow the pace back down just again, so we'll take a look at the PTM instant replay, see what happened exactly here. It looked like there might have been some trouble entering into turn number 3 here. We'll take a look at the replay. Well, they'll fire him down right off of turn number 4. You can see just that split spot. Carson Conway clips the 94 and the 5 on a turn. Radford gets away with a little bit of damage, but how much of that is going to be chopped off to the run remains to be seen. We're going to go on board, though, with Conway. This is what it looks like in that car when he spun. And you can just see just that corner exit. There's a little flat spot right down there. You hit it just right. That car literally lifts off the ground a little bit and actually pretty much makes it seem like you're on ice. You can't grip that thing from there. That's exactly what happened, unfortunately, to the number 82 here. A tough break there for him, and that's going to be a bit of a problem throughout this race, I feel, for some of these guys. So, field will get squared again, which means time to take it back down to the chat here. Okay, we are running to lap 20, so now this thing gets a little bit interesting here. As the field tries to survive and tries to conquer, we'll take a listen down on the field. We're going to hit it up here with the number 22, Matt Kopp, now joining us on the show here. And Matt, not the start I think you were looking for out of the gate here. Kind of had a check up down in turn 1 and 2. What happened down there, sir?
I just went into one and slid it around and tried to save it and got back in the gas and slid again and tried to correct it again and just darted straight right in the wall.
Did dart straight a little bit too hard, but an instant repair was used up at least. So do you think this car, with the amount of laps you guys have left, has something left to maybe take this one home and get it into that 20?
I'm hoping to make it up a few spots here. I've gained a couple, so I'm just gonna somewhat be patient and try not to use it up and destroy it before we get to that. So.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Cop, we do appreciate coming on board here tonight for this all-star race. Best of luck here as we get back into the groove of things.
Thank you.
Matt Cop, ladies and gentlemen, here in the number 22, looking to try and make a little bit of a run, a little bit of a shot down here into the distance. Mike Harper also on the cut line right now. He is in the 17th slot. Let's bring him on down, though. Have a listen in with the number 4 driver here. And Harper, first time we really heard from you all season round, and at the moment, kind of in the bird cutoff line, but a few guys up ahead of you still could be easily taken for granted here. But you think you got what it takes here to take this one?
Oh, I don't know about that one. It's definitely a hard track to tame here tonight. Definitely finding myself loose like everybody else. I'm going to do my best. So, yeah, at least make it to the second round.
Make it some time around here as well, that for sure there. All right, well, Harper, nevertheless, though, as we get back to the action here, best of luck on this restart.
Thank you, sir.
Mike Harper, ladies and gentlemen, getting prepared to focus up again. Let's head up a little bit to the front here and have a listen in with some of the other guys here. Chat up here right now with, I believe that is going to be Brandon Mefford in the number 83 here. We'll listen in real quick on his end. 83 of Mefford now joins us in. Mefford, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, bud. How are you?
Oh, doing pretty good on our end here, and it looks like car as usual holding up pretty all right and feeling pretty good. So I'll ask you this as you get ready for the 1 to go signal. Is it really up guys up front right now just trying to stay a little more conservative and stay out of trouble?
Yeah, this first segment, you know, they're going to cut 5 cars out, so just really want to keep it clean, not racing for anything but that 16th position. So I don't think these guys up here are in a hurry, and I know I'm not.
Does the invert kind of also worry you guys a little bit when you get to those closing laps there?
Yeah, because we don't know who's in the chat. They could be for somebody and, you know, root against whatever invert or choose one. So it's a crapshoot. It's going to be fun.
The fans have the choice. They have the poll. They will determine your guys' fate, but nevertheless, you determine your own fate on the track. Best of luck down there.
Thanks, man.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get squared away once again here. Remember, you in the chat, if you have not voted, vote down below. Do you want an invert at lap number 45? If you choose the invert, we will spin the wheel, and that wheel will determine these drivers' fates from the position that it is selected. So if you go and the wheel spins to 8, we will then take the 8 from the top spot. They will be inverted. Everybody else will be sent back to the end, or they'll be sent up to the front in this case, I should say. Alright, here we go, race fans. We still got 21 cars on the track right now. We have not lost any yet, but it's time to bring the hammer down once again here at Vegas. The green flag flies. Position's going to matter here. Laps running out. Mike Harper on the cutoff line right now, but you can see, not too worried about that. Gonna throw one haymaker right up into the bunch and into the field. Tim Schofield, Cook Quick now getting out of that mess here, trying to stay out of trouble. Cook Quick, if he goes one more spot down, he will be in elimination contention. Having a watch up ahead though at the moment with a 9 of Paul Buzel here, moving and grooving and scoozing in his way up. Trying to goozle the whole field if he can, trying to make this one work down there. Eddie Rose joins us in right now, rooting on for his RBR crew as the field starts to get closer into this fight, into this run. We're down to only 7 laps this time by here, left to go before we hit lap number 20 here. And again, drivers pacing, determining up in the middle half, while the drivers behind, well, they're trying to find any kind of speed they can. And Troy Radford here in the 94 maybe backing off slightly here just to save himself some time for a slingshot on Cook Quick. Quick, if he's not careful here, he could be put into the shadow realm here early in this race of the All-Stars battle. Oh, a little bit of trouble down there for Doug Wysocki at 34. All over the place there. The 34 falling back big time here. This is not looking good if you're in that 34 camp. Back out trying to get one last bit of speed, one last bit of run. Had to kind of sneak a maneuver his way around there. Cook quick backs off. Troy Radford taking over the 15th slot. He now is the one taking aim and taking charge. Chris Medford, Tim Schofield here a little bit closer than I think both drivers were kind of hoping to be at with each other. If they're not too careful, that could get ugly down there. And unfortunately now, Mike Harper will have problems here coming in through turn number 2 and 1. Spins out, crashes, and the 4 now will cause another caution. And that will lead us one step closer to really kind of a shootout lap style to that 20th lap. Take a look at the PTM replay and see what happened exactly to Mike Harper. Presented by R&R Racewear, here is their PTM Instant Replay. And again, these next gen cars, they will send you for a loop. And you can see just that little slide there on the right side just literally was all it took to get this car to completely spin it right around and just send him straight skyward into the wall. It doesn't matter if you're top spot, if you're second or first. It does not matter. This thing will get completely out of hand and out of shape. And again, there is that slight spin. Didn't look like on TV, but you can see right there on his onboard camera, that thing slid and it jerked hard off the end. What a tough right there for number 4, Mike Harper. He's going to try and get a pit road in and get that instant repair done, but that might not have been enough here. This might be the end of his day. Gonna try and get the field squared away right now here. While they get that done and taken care of here, let's go back and take a look at our all-star race regulations and rules. So here is how this plays out. Here is how this works. Again, we are going to go to lap 20. 5 cars are going to be eliminated. We are going to go to the end of lap 45. We will invert the field if you guys choose to. You got to still vote down there. We have 4 for invert, 3 for no invert, so choose wisely. Lap 70 will be last 5 cars eliminated again like lap 20, and then 95 it's invert the field again. We will generate the number, and then from there we let them race to lap 115 to finalize this night of hard action racing down in Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Field gets centered back around the track here. We're going to go ahead and send it on down once more. See if Troy Radford maybe is feeling a bit of those nerves down there, if he's just feeling ever so confident here. Let's take a listen in now with them here. He is the onboard camera here. Here he is with us. Troy, right now, currently cutoff line just one spot below you, but the 94 making a slingshot on that 54 Cook Quick. Do you expect it to happen again here?
You know, I'm just kind of riding out here, just trying to make it through the first section. I've got a pretty fast car, but I'm just trying not to do anything stupid. Unfortunately, already lost a fast repair because somebody else ran into me there. But just hopefully survive the first segment and then try to see what we got.
Yo, we're seeing drivers getting pretty loose and spinning them off the corners here in the entries. How difficult is it to kind of offshoot the throttle here with this Gen 7 versus that Gen 6 usually?
I mean, the Gen 6, you're just wide open. Here, it's very loose, very twitchy, but ultimately, if you're going to overdrive the car, it's going to step out on you because you overdrive entry and then it tightens up on exit and then the car snaps loose. So the people who are being patient on the throttle going into the corner are the ones who are driving off strong.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, patience will definitely be the virtue and the name of the game here. So best of luck down there as we get you back to the restart zone.
Thank you.
Troy Radford, ladies and gentlemen, the number 94 here. Going to talk with us just for a minute there and let everyone get squared away. Right now, we're going to bring him back to the green flag. Remember, we've only got 2 on this restart. They'll go 19, then 20. After 20, we will see who is in the cutoff line. Remember, there are 21 drivers out there, so 16th, 54 Cook Quick, you're on the cutoff line, buddy. Eddie Rose has voted to invert. We have 5-3 for invert. Remember, though, it's not until lap 45 we select that invert slot and that invert time. Bring it back to the restart zone. We're going to get them fired away once again. Well, watch carefully from the top half and the bottom half right now. By bottom half especially with Chris Medford now realizes he's in the butt-off lane. He's in the cutoff slot. He's on the bubble. Wysocki, if he can find a run, he's going to try to use it here. Hammer down time here in the back end. And Radford trying to stay just one slot ahead there. Chris Mefford, Wysocki trying to find the draft, trying to find that extra little push. One more time by, and we're sending it to lap 20. Mefford going to try to hold on. Wysocki's going to throw a haymaker right at the line. Oh, there's trouble down there for the 12 of Tim Schofield, though. Opening engaged. Oh, what a huge wreck ensuing right on the back end of this one. Oh, my goodness. Multiple drivers involved, multiple wrecked out on the back straightaway, and they will be sent straight packing from that wreck. Oh my goodness. Well, right now, on getting him fired away, Ray Radford is the one that is on the cutoff line. Tim Schofield's going to try to race it out. I believe he will be the one that advances in. He is going to be the 15th slot. Cook Quick try to hurry, but Schofield will get in. And I believe Cook Quick, Ray Radford, Matt Kopp, and Chris Wally, as well as Carson Conway and Troy Radford, have just been eliminated.
Yeah, y'all can pit here.
They take down the race officials now here, race fans here. Well, Mr. Chris Wally, I think you might have just been eliminated, sir.
Yeah, man, I was. I was sitting there telling myself, just don't screw yourself up, and sure enough, I did. Nah. I hadn't been able to figure it out all night on that entry.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough little spot down there, and definitely gave you guys and some of the other drivers a few headaches. But looking at everything right now, it appears Schofield came across the line after the caution came out, with Cook Quick coming in at the cutoff line. So Quick, Radford, Conway, you, and Kopp, and Troy Radford are both all eliminated, it looks like.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate that, buddy.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen here, unfortunately going to have to go one step down will be Chris Wally, but don't worry, we'll hear from him a little later on here, of course, as we will let them know if we are going to invert the field. He is our race command driver tonight, so. Stacy Lehman quick saying, let's go 54, Nicky Short. Let's go Vincent Short, HBR. The Holler Boys are hollering. They're getting some love down there. All right, race fans, when we come back, we've only gone through the first part. Segment 1 completed. Next up, get to lap 45. Choose your race. Everyone's going to be racing hard. But will they be put to the outhouse or will they go to the White House? That's all on you. You choose down below, the invert or not. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, has been brought to you in part by our good friends over at R&R Racewear, the official web store merchandise line for iRacing and the IROC Challenge Series. Be sure to visit them up at R&R Racewear. Field going to get squared away here. Still on the lead charge on the pack fight zone here. Talk about a wild start and some neat scenery we are seeing right now between every single one of these drivers. And really a big amount of it has been just due to the chaotic nature that is this race format. This little go around, it will certainly test even the best of drivers. So field now getting right back onto the track, still from the pit road exits and entries. As now Chris Evans has joined us on in. He is voted to invert the field. I believe that makes it 5 or 6 to 3 at this point for invert. Man, you guys are playing hard crowd today, man. I'm telling you. I mean, either way, we will show you the wheel. Believe me, we're going to show you the wheel when we get to that point. But right now, we'll have about 20 laps here on this next go around, this next restart. Double filed up here to set the field up again. David Tremblay and Brian McCann, the only two drivers really that stayed on out after pit road exits and pit stops. Definitely makes for an interesting little get around here, a little bit of a position or two to field in with it. And again, we've talked about it before here. Again, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, very challenging in its own right. Very little tricky little spar track. Certainly can be a bit of a challenge and a half here. Of course, it is a gamble just trying to race this place, trying to race it on out with some of the best and toughest drivers around. Currently looking at it here, looks like there are 16 drivers still out. So looks like there might have been a 22nd driver out there. I'm not really sure on that one here, but it looks like Schofield will stay out, I guess, and hang around with the field. Double filed up in for the restart zone. We're getting ready to put this one back on the brigade and put it back to the throttle, straight down, pedal to the metal action here on PTM Racing TV. Let the motors roar, let the 670s loose. Here we go. Dexgen's back in full gear as we crank it up a little bit here at Las Vegas. So pretty chaotic scenery and a little bit of action packed around this track here. Really, that's one of the main things we're kind of staying to and kind of staying forth. And remember, these drivers do not know where they're going to be inverted at, but I guarantee you they probably have enough idea they are going to be inverted now. So at this point, it just becomes a matter of control and consistency and really punching the speeds as hard as you can, as well as you can. The pole vote will be closed at lap number 38, so just going to get that out of the way right now. So if you have not already, vote down below if you want the invert or not. You may say invert or no invert, or yes or no. It's up to you. We don't judge. Right now, we are going to invert the way the polls have voted and the way the fans have selected. So that is kind of what we're looking at right now. As we go on board here, Brandon Medford here down, moving the charge up into the 4th slot. Kevin McCann trying to stick with his family member, Brian McCann, as the number 3 still continues to hold the lead down. And what a little bit of a wild scenario. What a little bit of a wild kind of racing ordeal. What a kind of battle we have kind of on this one. I know it's a little, it seems like it's kind of convoluted the way this rules package is and the way the rules are set. But when you think about it, it's actually rather smart, rather unique, because it forces drivers either A, to get good and really make a run for themselves, or B, it makes them have to question whether or not even their pit strategy or their strategy is going to work. So it shakes things up completely. And remember, this is not a points race, so it's all in good fun, it's all in good time, as Aaron Smith now in the number 1 has a little bit of company to deal with up front. He's got Brian McCann on his inside line. Looked like he made a huge charge around Kevin. Looks like he wants to be the one that burrows the speed and hammers the line down. Neil Quick and the 2, we talked to them earlier on, making a little bit of a runway back at it here. Brian scoots up top side. Smith goes to the bottom. And this is a great battle for your race lead right now. 4 drivers involved, taking a little tussle and taking a page out of the big book of speed. It's been a while since I've opened up my racing Bible, but the book of speed says in Excel Chronicles verse 8 of 9. In times of the great run we have come forth here, I wish to gamble my line, trust in the power of speed, and I will make sure that my showgirl tonight looks very fine. Wait a minute, wait a minute, what kind of race Bible did I pick up this time? That must be the Vegas race Bible. Debbie Rose is saying invert. Chris Wally says yes, invert. Well, unless the no inverts come in, right now we're pretty much locked and loaded to invert this field. Oh, I can't wait to show you guys the wheel. It's gonna be so much fun. We got 5 laps to go before we will close the polls. And we'll put in the comments section below. The polls will be closed in just a minute. So if you are on the Facebook Live section, you know what we're talking about. If you're on the YouTube replay, do not fear. If you tune on in later on, we'll still have all the showcase and all that. So we'll keep you guys up to date as usual. But thank you so much to everyone that tunes in these streams from the YouTube to the Facebook. Please do like and follow us up here on the show and subscribe to our YouTube channel, so you guys never miss any of our live action coverage down on the track. Debbie Rose saying, watching that 89 of Brian Rose. Well, you're in luck there, my friend, because we're watching him too. And he is in a heated battle here with David E. Brown on that 7 and the 9 of Paul Buesel. Budweiser's 9. Okay, hold on a minute. That's got Dodge in the front of that. And it's driving a Chevrolet body. Buesel, you may want to refresh the paint scheme there, my friend. I think you may need to put a little red coating on the top of that Dodge. I don't think that's supposed to be there, my friend. There are murmurings and rumorings, yes, we will say, of Dodge coming back into NASCAR, but at the moment that's just all speculation and rumors, so can't say much on that end. But if I would guess, I would love to see them come back for sure. It would be nice to see more than just 3 manufacturers on the track. As Buesel gets a little goozle there on the 7 of David E. Brown. Brown having a little problem with the Glitchcraft for Gremlins coming back to town. Field working off of turn number 4 here. Huge challenge up ahead here right now for these drivers as they continue to just wonder and worry where they're going to have to be at in position. If I was them, I would try to stay more towards the middle, which is exactly where Brown and Buesel are, as well as Rose. So that would be where I would want to be, and I think that's why you're really seeing this heated battle here back in the pack. While I'm up front, well, that's a different story, let's just say that. Russ Medford here in the 46 now, working with his family member Brandon Medford here as Neil Quick. And the number 2 tries to get up there with Aaron Smith on the number 1. Those two had a great battle in the regular season race series. They came out pretty much tied together, too much in a hot pursuit for one another. Certainly was a great showing and a great little indication here of what they could really do and what they could bring to the table. Michael Rose saying pulling for that number 89 today. Brian Rose got a lot of love down there, and he's still in a heated battle right now with Paul Buesel. And Buesel all over the place here when it comes to either being on the track or off the track as they continue to fire him on down. And the polls are closed, ladies and gentlemen. The vote is going to be an invert. We're going to see the inverted position here on lap 45. Stay tuned with us here just a minute because we're going to finish this one out here on the last position-wise. As I don't really know where to call the action from. I wish I had a double screen here. iRacing, let me get some dual screens on this track here sooner or later, man. Right at this battle here with the 54 here, Cook Quick, and the 9 of Paul Buesel with Brian Rose on that top side. Absolutely flooring the throttle, trying to hammer down and get anything they can. They're gripping each corner as hard as they can get and trying to get them to stick down there. These next gens, once you get some air into them and get a little heat, they can really do quite a bit of a race run, a little bit of a showcase of themselves. And that's exactly what they're hoping for, and that's exactly what they need to get. Battle for the race lead, though, as Neil Quick moves it right up in the number 2 to the number 1 of Aaron Smith. Kevin McCann on that outside, kind of playing the middleman, if you will, the middle line. Trying to see what lies ahead, if he can find anything with it up there. Doesn't seem too worried about it right at the moment here, but you can see Neil Quick has got a lot on the line here for the number 1 of Aaron Smith here. Trying to make a dash-ditch charge, trying to make a last-ditch effort pass here. Brian Rose still holds down the nice slot here out of the entire middle half of the field. And I think that's really where he wants to be. He's trying to rely on those lucky dice to give him a good number. I think he's hoping for either an 8 or he's hoping for just the whole field to be inverted. We'll see, though, as we'll spin the wheel in just a little bit. But he now has a little bit of company back at him. Here comes Buzel. Buzel goozles him, comes off the bottom, charges right off turn number 2. That's a solid battle right there from that 9 here at the 89 of Brian Rose, and both guys showing you their tenacity and their strengths versus their weaknesses on these tracks and on this race run. Cook, the 54, literally still in a heated little fight off here with David Tremblay in the 96 as well. Every single one of these drivers really getting their showcases in, trying to get a showcase of themselves here with the final laps now brewing. Here comes the run on the outside. Smith needs to defend as the 2 of Neil Quick goes to his inside line. Oh, he brings it back down, crosses him over, entering into the turn. Neil Quick had a great move there off of turn 1 and 2 earlier. Can he do it again? While McCann, Mefford, and Chris and Brandon are just right in the fray with one another. Brian pulling this thing right back at it. Off the outside line, here comes Brian McCann yet again, looking for the opening, looking for the straight shot. He does not want to get put back too far, but really, he wants all the positions. He wants to prove something here. Fires it right back at Aaron Smith coming off the line. Down to lap 45, here they come, now they go, it'll be to the line. Aaron Smith by a tire length getting Brian there. They'll go one more time by. Neil Quick now looking for a last-ditch effort, maybe a last push of doom, move of doom, if you will, call whatever you will. Here it's a gamble here at Vegas. There are 4 cars now intervening. Look at the move by Brandon Mefford in turn 3. Swing shot right on the 3. Now to the bottom, trying to get to 2. He's not going to get a run to get the 1, but an impressive display and performance by the drivers for the lead lap as we now bring it to the caution flag. Woo! Ho ho, yes sir, we have got ourselves a battle. And now, the moment of truth. Drivers will get squared away here. We'll let them catch our breath and get their breath, man, because that was a wild little start. My friends are down there with the wheel right now. They are preparing to get it set up and ready to fire and ready to showcase it here on the show. So right now, top 5, Smith, Quick, McCann, Mefford, and, well, Brandon and Chris Mefford in your top 5. But who is going to get inverted? Let's find out right here and now. Enter the wheel, the R&R Racewear All-Stars Race Wheel. Ladies, if you please. And it's going to fall on the number 8. We will have the number 8 be the inverted field. Ooh. This could get interesting. The number 8 has been the inverted number here. We're going to now tell our race control man himself. Chris, do you have the copy, sir?
Yes, sir. I've got you.
We have got the number. The wheel has chosen the number 8.
Number 8. Awesome. Thank you, sir. We'll make sure we get them. They're going to stop on the back straightaway. We'll get them lined up, and we'll get back racing.
You heard him loud and clear here, race fans. Chris Wally getting charged and taking full aim. Thank you again, Wally. We'll see if we join you back here in just a couple more laps.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, even though he's wrecked out, got a little bit of damage up in those cars, man, these guys, they definitely put on a show and put on a battle there leading up to lap 485. Probably the best battle we've seen in quite some time from these guys all season round. Definitely shows you that they're willing to put up a fight and put on a little show for you if they can get it going. So the wheel has spoken. We are going to invert the 8. And I think it's time right now we go ahead and have a listen in with some of our drivers and the boys down there. Boy, they had a lot going on down there. That is for sure. We'll take a listen in with some of these guys here and have a little talk here with some of them here in just a brief fleeting moment. We're going to let them get squared away here. They are currently being talked to by our race commander there, Chris Wally. Remember, it was top 8 at the line. So they're going to get Mike Harper around. Rest of the field waiting for their command, waiting for their presence here. Again, they're currently making sure every single one of these drivers get put in the right spot. The 12 of Tim Schofield now being charged up. Kevin McCann. Aaron Smith. Brandon Mefford. Brian McCann. Neil Quick. Vincent Short. And the rest will follow in line. Kyle Pengraff, then Cook Quick, Chris Mefford. David Tremblay. David E. Brown. Doug Wysocki. Paul Buzel. Brian Rose. And that will lead in the top 16. So now, race fans, you have your driver set. You have chosen the inverted. The invert has been completed. I will need you guys down below to let me know. Do you want another one? Do you want to see them inverted again? Or do you want to let them race their race? You have the command. You have the call. When we return, we get back to it. Another 5 drivers will be eliminated at the next segment. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's race has been presented in part by our good friends over at R&R Racewear, the official web store for all your merchandise needs for iRacing and the IROC Challenge Series. A very big thank you to our friends at R&R Racewear. This all-star race, IROC Challenge Series, man, has been just complete chaos and pandemonium all day around and all day long. But that definitely made for some interesting racing, as much as it probably did for some interesting content down there. So let's get the driver's perspective on this right now as we join here with the number 3 of Brian McCann. Brian, we just saw the inverted take place, and it definitely switched things up a little bit for you and your drivers. But what a battle between you and the crew there for that race win on, or excuse me, lap 45 for that position in the final segment there.
Yeah, I had a pretty good run there at the end. I was going to try to make it work and just, get to the front, but on that bottom side against Aaron there, I just couldn't quite pull it off.
Couldn't quite pull it off, but now on this segment here, what do you do to stay away from being in that bottom 5 to elimination?
Yeah, that's all you got to worry about.
For sure there. All right. Well, nevertheless, we'll get you restarted up here and get you back on the track. Best of luck down there, Brian.
Thank you.
I have a feeling he's probably all business down there, so we're going to leave him be there when he said it, he says. Race fans, drivers are prepared to get back at it. If you inverted the field, this is what we got. Mike Harper, Tim Schofield, Kevin McCann, Aaron Smith, Brandon Mefford, Brian McCann, Vincent Short, Neil Quick, Kyle Pengraff, and Cook Quick, all in the top 10 on the restart zone. This could get interesting here as they bring him down off turn number 4, line him back up into position, into the place, and into the Palace. Caesar's Palace has hosted many of the great times and the great races. Well, how about this? Let's bring it back down, and like a king and a queen, let's ride it out to the sunset and the end of our days. Here we go. Firing them off right off the corner ends here, and you can see some talent and precision and base racing being put to display here. Tim Schofield trying to hang in there with the big dogs, trying to hang in there with the big cats here. There's going to be a little bit of trouble down off turn number 2. Chris Efford, watch out down there. Can he save it? Yes, he can, but he just lost all that run and that momentum, and now he is in trouble. He's on that cutoff line. And Cal Pengraff gets a tag there from Paul Buzel, unfortunately entering off turn number 4. Both drivers able to save it, though, as they get squared away yet again. Buzel, though, has now been put back to the Shadow Realm. You need to stay away from that cutoff line here again. If you're 12th on back, you will be on the cutoff. That will force drivers' hand. They'll force them to really stay in place, stay on line. And our next segment will go at lap 70. Remember, 5 cars are eliminated, so you don't want to be 12th and lower. You want to stay in the run, stay in the charge. Doug Wysocki at the moment is on the cutoff line. He's on the bubble. And he's got the tenacious Brian Rose in the 89 right now to worry about and deal with here, trying to keep up his speed, keep up his run. It's kind of crazy to me how we had to kind of set this field in, how we set the track up, and really what these guys raced this one out. And we just saw that tremendous battle in segment 2, really forcing drivers' hands and forcing everybody out on the field to make moves when they can, make runs when they get to it. Now, if you are wondering at home here, wait a minute, why does some of those cars look all familiar and the same? Well, let me answer that question for you. These are all Chevrolet design-based next-gen Cup Series, and you're probably all wondering, wait a minute, why did they only go with the Chevy? Isn't there a Ford and a Toyota? Well, there is, but here's the thing. When you hear the word IROC Challenge Series, what do you think immediately when that comes to mind? You think, of course, the drivers from the IROC days back in the very early 2000s, when they had in the very mid 90s in them, you had really one car designed same way with very minimal adjustments. That is exactly what these drivers put on and put out here. It's the closest proximity to it nowadays, of course, is best known as the SRX, or the Superstar Racing Experience. But it certainly is something fun to watch here, and it certainly is pretty cool to see these cars in the same setup, same drivers, same balance here being put to the test for every single one of them to have to figure out and then comprehend with. Quick in that 54 going down low here on the 12 with Tim Schofield. Remember, Schofield was the front runner here on that restart, but since then has been kind of caught in a little bit of a bad hand, a little bit of trouble here. See that determination, that focus on that 12's eyes too, man. These guys, I know they're in the virtual world, but let me tell you something. With the way you see these guys' eyes kind of just really straight line focus on that track, that is exactly how I feel, and that is exactly how many drivers and fans alike feel when they get around this. Vincent Short in the 15 right now, having a little bit of a tussle, a little bit of a duel with Neil Quicker in the number 2. Vincent, by the way, he's had some great performances here on the show. Probably my favorite one was back at Talladega, where literally he drove a car that was more beat up and destroyed than most people are when they come through Vegas thinking that they can win a lot of money with about 100 grand in their pocket. They learn quickly that doesn't work that way. And yeah, he somehow kept on his toes, on his feet. He did not give an inch. He did not quit, did not strive. He just fought on and survived. And he would end up going away with a top 10 that day out of a 20-car field. It was an impressive display and performance by him and his crew. It really just goes to show you his all-around strength and fatigue he can bring to the table. David E. Brown got a little smacked on the outside wall protection there, kind of clipping up a little bit. Thankfully, not too much damage on his end, so he'll be somewhat okay and stable to keep on going. Quick earlier on. Woohoo, boy, hold on, boys. Those holler boys, man, they holler them, and they were definitely scraping and bruising that wall up a little bit. That 15 has scratched up a little bit and nearly got destroyed in. Firing him off, David E. Brown right now, pushing it right up ahead of Vincent Short. Remember, you don't have to be the guy in the 9th, 10th spot. You just don't want to be the guy in the 12th slot. Chris Medford, Kyle Pendergraft, Paul Buzel, Doug Wysocki, and Mike Harper all on the bubble right now. They are the ones that will be eliminated if they're not careful. Kyle Pendergraft and Medford, unfortunately, both the results of just a little spin, a little push and a bump there. Buzel, unfortunately, catching the 14, caught himself off guard too and cost him dearly for it. Still, yet he does not seem to quit or seem to refuse to lose. He wants to hang in there. Aaron Smith may be playing a little bit around here and toying with that 3 of Brian McCann. I guarantee you when when the invert came out, that really set these guys up, really strangleholded it up a little bit more on them. So now they realize they've got to outsmart the field and really play to their odds and their best strengths. Brian McCann right now being hunted down by the number 1 here. McCann goes up topside yet again, maybe looking to try to keep away from turning in the car too much. Remember, these next gens are a lot more difficult to steer and turn off with if you try to drive that bottom lane. That's what makes these things so much fun to watch now. It's literally a multi-group track and multi-group speeds with these things. It forces drivers' hands. It forces folks to get smarter, more clever, more on the nose, if you will. Cook Quick right behind Neil Quick. Family members now trying to work together. Tim Schofield doing much of the same. Remember, they only got about 5 laps remaining here before we end this one out. The final 5 will be eliminated. And right now, Doug Wysocki is ahead of a 189. And Brian Rose, Holler Boy fans and friends, you may want to get your team rooting on because he needs some love. He needs some help. He's been too far in the clubs. His car's a little more beat up than most times I ever look like when I get out of the club. And that 89 is not holding up well. Here comes Mike Harper on the number 4. Sneaking his way around a little bit. Ward just as works for wear, but the front end is a little bit more cleaned up. Rose cannot hold the line down. He has lost too much speed, and the arrow is starting to cause more mischief and more mayhem for him to run off with. Buzel now starting to goozle back up, looking for a last-ditch effort, a last-ditch run to try to hang in it. 12 on back are eliminated. Harper right now on the cutoff line. Same with Buzel and them. And Buzel goozles the 4. Off at turn number 4. Gets a charge and a half. He knows there's only 3 laps left to go. He's got to hurry. Wysocki is in his sights. Here's the lap time comparisons. This one's looking pretty clear here. Wysocki is in deep trouble if he's not careful. Buzel trying to drive the draft line off. Wysocki might be time to start getting that draft line off of him, bud. We'll take a look on this lap here and see if he can get a little bit more speed, a little bit more rotation around the corners to try to outrun him. Lap number 68 shows Buzel with only 600 of a second gap gained. That's not good. Buzel now needs more than that. He needs a little bit more speed. Gonna try to line the draft line up here on Wysocki. Time's running out. He will be the last one on the bubble to be eliminated. Chris Mefford, at this point, he knows he's done. His day is cooked. Kyle Pengraff is going to be out as well. Too far behind. Brian Rose, Mike Harper might have a chance if something happens between Buzel and Wysocki. But as I come around here, one more lap to go. Wysocki hanging on. Now he makes it right up to Vincent Short. Short a little slower on the momentum. Looks like the arrow might have been blown up a little bit too much. Looks like he's losing speed here. He's losing speed. Now he's dealing with the 34 Wysocki. These two do not want to be eliminated. They don't want anything to do with it. Buzel trying to get one more run off, but it's not going to be enough here. Buzel will fall short. Caution is out, and Vincent Short advances on. Buzel, Harper, Rose, Pengraff, Mefford are eliminated. And now we join the mad scientist yet again here. Wally, were you watching that race back there, my friend?
Absolutely. It got close there for the transfer spot. I thought Vince Short might come up a little short, but you know what? He ended up pulling it through. So Paul Buzzell, unfortunately, everybody from him on back will have to park it like the rest of us.
I think I might have to say, I think I might have been saying it wrong the whole time then. I thought it was Buzel, so if it is Buzzell, I have to owe an apology to Nine then.
Yeah, if I don't know.
We don't know either. Okay.
I don't know. We're both
we might
lost
have to talk with him here a little later on then.
Yeah, we'll have to call him up here and see how it's pronounced.
All right. Well, we'll get that done here in a little bit while, but thank you for your time here, Wally. We'll see what happens here coming up as we're about to ask our fans and the viewers to please vote and get the invert or the no invert, and please comment below, guys.
Thank y'all.
All right. What a performance here, and what a race here from the guys up front. Vincent Short, the last of the HBR guys left. Doug Wysocki pulling off a tremendous comeback there to get to 10th. Race fans, the polls are open. The polls are up to you. We need to know, this time, will we do another invert? It'll be our last one before we go to the final laps to the 115th sanction. You have the power. You have the control. We have one for an invert. You choose, you select. Do you want to make it interesting, or do you want the drivers to make it interesting on themselves? It's all on you. You guys choose down below. We'll be right back after this quick commercial message. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the All-Star Race is presented in part by R&R Racewear. A big thank you to them for all their support this season, and especially this big race. Again, they are the web store to get your merchandise line from iRacing as well as the IROC Challenge Series. Big thank you again to R&R Racewear. So here's right now how we look here with the folks coming off of pit road. Kevin McCann, Brian McCann, Aaron Smith, Tim Schofield, and Neil Quick, your top 5. Top 10 include Brandon Mefford in the 83, the 54 Cook Quick, Vincent Shore in the 15, 9th being Doug Wysocki, and still figuring out who's going to be 10th coming out. David E. Brown's going to be falling short to David Tremblay here. The 96 will pull it the top 10. Man, I'll tell you what, guys, that was just absolute pure insanity, chaos all around us here. Michael Frazro says, spin that wheel. Yes, I want to see the wheel again. Oh, I'll promise you, I'll show it either way. But they want the invert to be for sure in sanction. So, now remember, we do have 20 on the number. So, if we hit 20 or anything that's over 11, we are doing the whole field. We will do the whole field, so do not get confused there. Do not get kind of wrapping your head around like, wait a minute, if we have number this, do we do number that? No. Just keep it simple, keep it real. We will be doing the entire field if it's 11 or over. Well, right now, Chris Mefford, I gotta believe, a little bit dejected down there, and sadly a little bit off for the worse for wear here. But right now, he is going to join us real quick in the call line here and on the list here. Chris, tough break there, unfortunately, having to kind of go from the back and getting kind of put into a bad spot, but really a great performance here for you and your crew here. What was it like down here at Vegas?
Loose. Car was stupid loose. I mean, you gotta try to hang on for 8 laps, and then Brandon got loose on the inside, and then Kyle kind of checked up, which, I mean, that's what he does. Or that's what anybody does at that time. And I think he just got to my left front and got me loose. And I just tried to lock it down and try to not get anybody else. Slid back up on the track. I was hoping for a caution, and there was no caution, so it kind of really ruined my night. Worst part was whenever I got passed by Brian and Kevin, and I ran them down for over 2 seconds. So I had a fast car, just not my button.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, Mefford, I know it's been a bit of a hard race, a little bit of a hard pill to kind of swallow around here, but nevertheless, though, we really do appreciate you coming on board here today and tonight as well on the show. We'll see you down in the playoffs picture coming very, very soon.
Awesome, thank you.
Chris Mefford in the 486, you can hear in his voice just a little bit dejected down there, it's heartbreaking. It's hard to really put it in emotions. It's exactly what these guys feel, what they deal with on a constant basis, but that's what makes this racing, ordeal, makes motorsports so much fun and so crazy. You go through a wave of emotions from happy to sad to just, getting the big picture, the big win in, and I will say at the end of the day, it's all about who can handle and maintain the speed and control. So right at this moment, we saw on lap 45 an absolute barn burner between the drivers here because they knew they were getting inverted. But will they feel who will feel the wrath of the inversion this time around? We'll find out. It could literally be as many as one. It could be as many as all. Who will it be and who will get it? Right now, we've got 4 for the invert. Vote away. Do you want the invert or do you not want the invert? Nevertheless, we're getting ready to fire them on down, back onto the restart. Here we go. The speeds, the power these cars possess is absolutely enduring and thrilling to see here as they continue to go around the track and just play on the speed and more on the momentum. Right now, Carson Conway joining us now, said invert. Michael Fraz Rose has vert. It goes for the invert. Nicky Short wants an invert. Eddie Rose wants an invert. The judges have spoken. The fans are selecting. You have the power. Continue to comment down below. Keep the engagement going, and we'll see what happens in the end. There are 11 drivers left when we get to our final segment here. And again, race fans, that final segment is at 95. So these drivers right now are paying very, very close attention to those laps and the consistency control. They either will have the odds play ever in their favor, or they're going to find themselves in a very big hole they're going to have to dig themselves out of. And I'm not talking like a hole you usually would see down in the usual in the Desert Sand back in the 1800s. I mean a legit hole that will be very difficult to get out of. And right now, a little battle for the race late here, moving it in. How about this? Battle of the threes, 33 and the 3. Kevin and Brian McCann, they're back at it. And Kevin right now doesn't exactly want to fall fiddle to his number 3 family member here. Neil Quick watches on from the outskirts though, an outsider looking in right now. And no, I do not mean the outsiders from the NWO to the WCW days. Rest in peace, Scott Hall. I'm talking legitimately the Wolfpack style drivers that want to find a way into the pack, into the run, and then go on their own and be the lone wolf of them all. And Kevin McCann seems to now found the speed here, but thanks to the pack help from the number 2. But you can see Neil Quick. Oh, he had a nice idea to get around that 33 of Kevin McCann. Looked like he was going for the charge. Cook Quick even. How about this? The 54 driver, man, he's hanging in there with this group. He's not giving out yet. He's not giving up to anything here. This is pretty impressive to say the least on his end. He's usually a pretty tough competitor and pretty strong little driver, but as of late on the show, I haven't really seen all that much encompassing that really he's been needing to bring to the table. This is a different scenario, though. This is a different racing, a little different tone. I like this. Field working their way on around right now. Kevin McCann gonna falter back just a little bit. Looks like maybe he's trying to save the tires up for another slingshot attempt. He'll have about 11 laps remaining before this stage segment comes to an end. And then it looks like I'm going to have the privilege and the honor to get the wheel spinning again because Chris Wally says invert again. We're now at 5, I believe. 5-0. They want to see the wheel, fans. They want to see it. Ladies, please get down there and get squared away here. I need that wheel ready to go here in a little bit. And Cook Quick says, well, to heck with that wheel. I just want to see what I can do for the race late. Look at that 54 hard charging straight to the bottom. And here comes Cook Quick. He wants to get family member Neil Quick involved. He wants to get right up to him. An impressive move, takes 2 for the price of 1. He gets around Kevin McCann and Brandon Medford. And how many guys can say that, much less on this show? That is wild and that is insane to say the least here, folks. Aaron Smith staying right behind the field, though. David Tremblay now in the 96, making a little bit of a head move here, trying to move his way through the fight and into the fray. Not giving an inch here, not giving out to anybody here. He wants to make sure he stays dead focused and dead on target and online. Knows what lies ahead of him, knows what's coming up, right between the positions in the field. Kevin and Brian McCann right now starting to fire up a little closer to one another. Side by side racing at its finest and at its toughest. Tremblay and Smith still giving it everything they've got. While Tim Schofield here, you saw earlier, he got inverted with a lucky draw. I don't know, maybe he's expecting it again. But I think right now I can hear that throttle and hear those tires kind of loosened up a little bit. I think he's really being very, very patient and waiting for the run to come his way. Final laps now. Here we go. Closing up on it here. Closing the gaps up. Cook Quick and Neil Quick have now regained the positions and regained their little stranglehold. But Cook is the one actually getting closer to Neil more than anything. Brandon Medford's just kind of playing along with the ride. Medford hanging in there, trying to see if maybe he has something for that number 54 driver as the field just continues to get edged in closer as we go. And remember, if you're literally that race leader and you're coming out of pit road, next thing you know, you get pretty much the old stop and shop there from the invert. That forces drivers really then to test their luck and really test their skill. Wysocki and Brown, I probably would have to say, are saving the cars up a little bit, knowing their race is kind of in trouble and kind of in danger here, so they really don't want to run too much of a risk. 26 now to 25 laps to go. Don't worry, I'm still counting the numbers up here. When you see us get to the final 5 here, we will then get you in. Coming up now, here we go. Looks like a little fight off here for Tremblay and Kevin McCann. Kevin's starting to falter back a little bit more. I think he's really trying to play towards that strategy. He does not want to be put in a bad spot. He wants to stay more in line and in tune. An incredible show, to say the least, here by everybody involved and everyone out on the track here. It's been a fight and a half here for every single one of these drivers that came out to put on the run and put on the show for this, for you fans out at home, and also the folks here in Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We are down to just only 5 laps remaining. Or excuse me, 4 laps remaining. 4 laps left to go here. 4 remaining up top. Vincent Short firing one up right on the outside. Look at the 15 start to regain his composure. 3 laps to go. And my ladies down there at the wheel deck have told me we're ready to spin the wheel, Mr. Crusader. Well, I love the sound of that. I love the sound of it getting ready to be spun. It'll be interesting to see what we can get out of it. But right at the moment here, still after a heated and intense battle here with only 2 to go, positions are definitely starting to factor in, and positions are starting to matter more as we get into it. I think really the main thing is these drivers want to try to get the better of the leg up, trying to get one up on another, especially with the way things are playing out at this moment. Your top 5 on your screen right now, showing you who will be in that run into that sanctuary here. There's just a huge difference between the 4th to the 5th slot back, knowing what comes up next. 1 more lap to go. And then it will be time to invert this field. Oh, hold on a minute. We got a few down there saying no invert. Stacy Lehman Quick says no invert. Taylor Quick says no invert. Helen Quick, is this the computer game? Yep, this is the computer game, I guess you could say. Which I will say it definitely does not feel like a computer game sometimes. Firing them off here down to the final leg here. You have selected inverted. The polls are closed and we have the vote to invert. So the polls have officially closed up now, race fans. So we will have the invert take place. Who is going to get the break? Who is going to get lucky here? I will say right now, no matter what happens, Neil Quick will have to be inverted in this field. Well, excuse me, whoever comes out of pit road will have to be inverted in this field. I believe Neil would probably be the first one on the lineup on the roster. I don't think he minds too much. But now, take it down to my showroom, take it down to my lovely ladies down here. Ladies, if you please. Oh, we are going to invert this entire field. Everybody gets to be inverted in. we land on unlucky number 13, as some would say. I say that might be lucky for some others around here. The polls are closed, and the final invert has been deciphered. And really, what a day it has been. Let's bring him in. Chris Wally?
Yes, sir.
You mad scientist, you. We have now got the number, unlucky or lucky number 13, depending on how you want to look at it.
Oh, that's the field. All right. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the mad scientist himself, Chris Wally, has now gotten our final pick, and the 13 cars will be inverted into the field. And we'll talk with some of our drivers here in a minute here too. I believe we'll pull in Kyle Pengraff here in just a minute here and listen into how he felt after all the hard racing, all the hard charging. He'll come up 15th out of this field, unfortunately. Brandon Meffer gets the 83 out. Brian McCann will get it out second. Aaron Smith, David Tremblay, Kevin McCann. And all of them going to get out. David E. Brown, Vincent Short, Neil Quick, Doug Wysocki. And I think drivers were trying to play a little bit cool here. Tim Schofield and Cook Quick. Now, boys, park them on the back stretch. And let's get ready to push this one on around. Drivers will stop them on the back stretch. Do not worry, they are not doing anything too crazy here. We'll get everyone squared away real quick here, and then we will be right back with you. So while the field gets that taken care of here, we'll let everyone square away here, and we'll be right back in just a second. And coming off pit road here, Cook Quick gets the lucky break, gets the lucky number. He will get him squared away and put it on the pole. Him and Schofield will join each other now here as they get ready for the action to start kicking back up a bit, though. Let's take it down here and talk with some of our drivers. Unfortunately eliminated out here in the number 14, Kyle Pengraff here. Pengraff, I know this was not the night you were kind of looking at and kind of wanted to see that little tag there in the turn 4 here with Paul Buzel. Unfortunately, got you a little goozled, as we've said plenty of times here. But nevertheless, what a performance for you and your crew. Definitely looking solid out here at Vegas.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a shame that it happened, but you know what? It's a part of racing, and you just got to take it with the good and the bad.
For sure there. Now, I know this is merely just the ending of the regular season and all that, as you guys now move into the big one coming up, which will be at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the start of the playoffs. How big of a deal is that playoffs going to be for you and your crew as you get ready for what's about to come ahead?
Well, actually, from my understanding, I did not make the playoffs this year, unfortunately. First time in 4 seasons that I didn't get it.
That's definitely crazy to believe. 4 seasons of raw power and raw talent out on the track and just cannot get that done. But I guess it kind of shows you, too, just what kind of strengths lie between these drivers and yourself here. But nevertheless, Pengraff, we really do appreciate you coming on board. And hopefully, as you continue on with the rest of the racing season, we can see more of you and possibly put some up on these boys and show why you got the speed to hang with them.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Pengraff piloting up the number 14. He'll fall short today as he goes into the 15th slot. But now, race fans, no more votes, no more inverts, no more nothing. You want to win? You better go race this one. You got 15 laps to get it going. Here we go. No more nonsense, no more votes, no more polls, no more late luck draws. Now this is really when you play some Texas Hold'em and you play to the card's desire. You've got to figure out how to outplay and outsmart this field as we get them going right off of turn number 2. Drivers already hammer, throttle down, pedal straight into the middle. The floorboards are definitely shaking when that 33 Kevin McCann comes to town. Aaron Smith spins it right off turn 4 though. Whoa, Aaron Smith, the reigning defending champion of all things, goes loose off of turn number 4 and the number 1 spins it around. What on earth happened here? That is not a mistake you usually see of someone of his magnitude and his talent. He has been one of the toughest drivers to beat on this track. What happened to the one? Did the next gen kart get the better of him? It did. Look at that. You can see he's loose. Schofield backs off. Didn't tag him. David Brown, though, not so fortunate. Brandon Medford, presence of mind to get out of the way there. But boy, howdy. Smith, of all people, gets loose and loses it in the turn. One more look on the onboard camera. You can hear that car getting slightly off pace, off center, and he's trying to save it, but then he hits the flat spot, and there's no saving it from there. You can't save it. And that damage on that front of the nose, how much does that affect him as a driver? He knows now he has to go into pit road and get the instant repair used up. That is not going to look good for him. Unbelievable, though. Unbelievable to say the least here, and some drivers now looking to take aim and take fire away. Let's take it down now. Talk with top 5 driver number 96, David Tremblay, is on the line with us here. David, man, this has really been, no pun intended, a David and Goliath scenario all day long for you, but you have been able to hold out the odds and to take it in throughout this field. Now you're literally with the top guns with only about 10 laps to go. What's going through the mind?
Yeah, not sure how I managed to keep it up here. I'm just trying to keep it clean at this point.
Well, the car's looking pretty clean from our end here, and looks pretty solid. So I don't know. What do you think with tires wise and all that? We know Vegas has been known to burn the tires up, but how do you feel with it?
I'm feeling pretty confident as long as I don't get it snapping around on me again, like I had to happen to me at the start of the race, like Aaron just had happen to him just a few laps ago. Then I feel like I should be doing pretty good.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, looks like you're going green, so we'll get you back in there. Best of luck on this one.
Thank you.
96, David Tremblay, you ready to get back to the green, get back to the flying colors here. Pace car off of turn number 4. We're wasting no time. Get the action rolling again. Field firing them on down, looking for the green. Fire it up again. Cook Quick has the lead. Neil Quick will follow behind him. Oh, Neil Quick spins the tires, gets into a bad gear on the front straightaway. He did not get off the line. He's going to be leaving his family member all alone up there with those McCann boys. Kevin and Brian up top side here. They're going to fire hard. They're going to fire for everything they got. Cook trying to get a run on both of them. Kevin hangs in. Now the fallout stays engaged. Stay with the motion. Brian looking to work with his family member yet again. The McCann boys just continue to show they are not to be denied. If ever on this show. Aaron Smith, despite that spin, fresh repair, fresh paint job, reconfigured, tires are all set to go for a big battle here. Green wide off of turn number 2. David Tremblay trying to hang in there with this field, trying to give one last little fight at the boys here, but it looks like the car might not be too stable to hang in there. As our battle for the race lead commences, Eric, Brian, and Kevin literally dead even. They corner him off though with a little bump from the 3. Brian takes advantage. Kevin trying to get back at him. Right behind him, though, the number 1, despite the spin, is right back on the attack here as the 96 comes to a dead stop with Doug Wysocki. Slowed up too much on the pace on turn number 4. Yeah, I guarantee you they're not going to waste any time getting these guys recentered off here. Let's take a look at the replay, though. Presented in part by R&R Raceway. Here's another look at it. Watch out, turn number 4 gets loose, takes the 96 with him. And I think there may have been a reason why they've kept my mouth shut this whole time on all their races. It's probably that reason, to make sure I didn't give them the broadcaster curse. And I think I finally have delivered the curse at somebody today, so I am sorry to say there, Wysocki, but I think you might have gotten cursed by me, buddy. Yeah, man, David Tremblay, I did talk to both of them earlier, so it looks like I got both of them, 2 for the price of 1 in one night, and I guess I need to go to the crap shooting table because I might have to try my luck, but nevertheless, Wysocki sadly just losing off turn 4, could not hold it down, gets into a David Tremblay, and that's a darn shame and a tough break there for everybody, as the field is already ready to wrap back around here. Neil Quick's going to get another chance here to try to make up for that little bobble he made on the front straightaway here. Maybe make a little runway here for him and his team. 7 remain on the restart. Looks like it'll actually be about 6 remaining if unless I can get the cars lined up back in position here. David E. Brown, David Tremblay are all in pit road. Same for Doug Wysocki. Both guys will get ran back out. David E. Brown's out. Tremblay's out. Wysocki's out. And yes, they'll let him go. They're going to get him fired up. Wysocki's trying to hurry up. Same for David E. Brown, but I think Brown might be too little too late. Front end damage. He's going to try to get all the repair he can to try to get some kind of speed out there. The pit crew doing everything they could to get that thing squared away, but I don't know if this is enough. I'm just going to say this too, and people can judge me for this one, and I know I'm a little biased for saying this, but in my opinion, this is probably one of my favorite and my best calls I've made this year around, as well as really anytime I've been on PTM Racing TV. Everything just seemed to flow and be perfectly consequential for everything that happened down on the track. For that, I thank each and every one of you, and then some for the support and all this. It truly has been a memorable and fun day, to say the least. Here we go. 7 remain, and now it's time to find ourselves a winner. Will we get it here? The restart is out. We're back underway. Vincent Short not done yet. He says to holler, boys, we holler all day, we holler all night. Hit the tables up later in this one. And the tables are locked and loaded. The dice are fully loaded. This is some serious head move runs down from all ends. Every single one of these drivers here trying to hang in there, trying to give themselves a little bit of a gap, a little bit of position to work with. Neil Quick and Aaron Smith just decided to have one more tussle. The 2 and 1 not having an inch to be given, nothing to spare. Vincent Short really loose off turn 1 too. Saves it though. Has to back off, get out of the way there for drivers as well. Schofield moves his way up 7th slot. We're down to the final 5. Flagman holds up the high 5 in the air. Unlike John Cena, who says you can't see me, these drivers can see this pretty cleanly. Yeah, only final 5 left to go. Kevin McCann looking to try to make one last boltering move on Brian. I think Brian got a little bit of an idea what he was up to. Goes to the bottom immediately to block his run, trying to stop him. Kevin not going to give in though. He fires it on the outside line now. He is literally dead even with his family member. Each driver literally making each one work harder than they ever have before. This is all for Brian. He writes, and more so Brian though. Huge bobble. The bottom end finally dips in and catches the 3 off guard. And now Kevin sees a huge opportunity coming his way. Tries to get the draft off from Brian and Smith. You better be careful down there, though. You don't want to go into that turn too sharp. You sharpen it up too much like Smith did, and you'll even lose in those turns. Neil Quick trying to look for one last run. 3 to go. Kevin has not been to victory lane in quite some time. He wants to change that. He wants to show he is still one of the elite out here, and he can hang with the best and put on the best. Smith right in the fray. Brandon Meffer now engages top 5 literally in a scruffle. A huge fight off zone. 3 wide. Saluted. About a turn 3 down to turn 4. Oh, Neil Quick is a little too close for his own good. Holds it on. He held on. He held it on. He gave it everything he had to make the pass, but it wasn't enough. There have 2 to go. Can Brian catch him? Tim Schofield now catches right up there with Neil Quick. Vincent Short's going to engage a little bit. This is your battle for the top 5 here. Both drivers, all 3 drivers, I should say, literally giving it one more shot, one more run. Trying to lead the dice in and play a little Russian roulette with their cars and their runs as the white flag flies on out. Kevin McCann's got a solid lead over Brian McCann. He's going to stick to the bottom, stick the nose in there. Smith looking for one run on the outside, trying to slingshot it. Brandon Medford looking it right in the same way. They don't have enough time though. They'll bring him off one more time into corner number 3, down into corner number 4. For the first time in a while, the 33 of Kevin McCann will return to victory lane. And a huge battle to the end there for Aaron Smith, and Brandon Medford goes to a 200 of a second difference to the end. But what a race. What a performance and what a showcase here in Las Vegas Motor Speedway for that man, the number 33, Kevin McCann Gaming's Kevin McCann brings home the money, the chips, and all that and then some. Somebody take him down to the casinos. He's got some money to burn tonight. And while he's at it, let's burn the tires out just a little bit more. And the love is definitely shared mutually between those 2 drivers right there. What a show. What a race. Here we go. Final results presented by R&R Raceware. Kevin McCann, Brian McCann, Aaron Smith go first, second, and third. Brandon Medford, solid performance, goes fourth. 5th to Vincent Short. 6th to Tim Schofield. 7th to Doug Wysocki. 8th to David Trubley. David Brown goes 9th. 10th to Cook Quick. That rounds out the top 10 in this one. Whew! Oh boy, we've got some work to do down here. We are going to have to take it down with the drivers and take it down with the field here. Interview room is now open and in session. And right at the moment here, we are waiting for our field and our drivers to come up and talk with us. Our first one out of the bunch will be the number 3 of Brian McCann here. And Brian, congratulations on 2nd place finish here, sir. And you were talking about earlier, you went down, you were pretty much all business there on those restarts, and boy, you gave it everything you had, but a bobble in turn 1 and 2 catches you off guard. What happened there?
I'm glad y'all saw that bobble, so I didn't have to come up with an excuse here. Oh yeah, that was a tough save on that one, and that's what cost me the win there. And you know, Kevin, he ran it perfect, so I couldn't catch him at the end.
Certainly and indeed, and you know, I know there was a lot going on, a lot of speed really to be used and abused down there, but I mean, you gave it quite the run and quite the expertise and showcase here. I know there was really no give on that one, and this car is certainly not going to give anything to you, is it?
No, and we were, you know, that last, 8-lap run or whatever it was, we were 110% the whole time, and you probably saw that when my car was twitching, but yeah, once you get that thing up on the right side and get it carving that turn, it turns pretty good.
It does indeed. Well, nevertheless, though, it's still going to be a solid 2nd place for you and your crew. So let me ask you this, Brian. Who do you want to thank here today for this one?
Man, everybody watching tonight, you guys doing the broadcast, Wally and everybody else who put this show on, you know, the All-Star Race, I'd love to come out here and do something different. It was fun. I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, we enjoyed every minute of it, and we certainly hope you've enjoyed yourself. Thank you again, Brian, for coming on board, and congratulations on this one and your regular season win just a while back.
Thank you.
Brian McCann, the regular season champion, and making a showcase of himself and his crew here as he goes away with a 2nd place finish, but coming up 3rd here, of course. Really a surprise factor because really just a while ago, Aaron Smith, we were literally thinking you were not going to be anywhere near that with that little spin in turn 4. What the heck happened down there?
Well, they went and shortened the caution after I went in to repair my damage, so I had to leave the stall without taking my quick repair or any tires. So my tires were all warmed up and used up, and we were able to throw it back up there to 3rd. I don't know how I did it, but I'll take it.
You certainly did more than just take it. You literally had to fight, scratch, and claw this one. And those drivers weren't going to give you any breaks either here. I mean, I know you were very hectic on that last bit, but really, let me ask you this. As you were coming to the line, you're coming to the finish with Brandon Medford by your side, did you think at one point, man, this cat's going to get me here if I'm not too careful?
Oh yeah, I thought we were all gonna wreck coming out of 4 because we were both sliding up the track and I didn't have much farther to go. But fortunately, we made it out there clean.
Made it out there clean, came out unscathed, and pretty much looking pretty solid as ever. The defending champion here, I know you're ready for the playoffs, so who do you want to thank here for this one, though, in the All-Star race?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks at the IROC Challenge for putting the show on, you for broadcasting, and all the folks for watching. Looking forward to getting back at it and running the playoffs.
A championship is to be defended here in just a few short weeks here and time, but Aaron Smith, congratulations on this one, my friend.
Thank you.
Man, you can tell by the voice in his heart he's ready for it. But I'll tell you, one driver that's ready to gut way here. He laid the chips down. He found the dice. They were fully loaded, and he loads this one into victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin McCann, the number 33 pucks it into victory lane here. And Kevin, congratulations here in that Kevin McCann Gaming 33 machine. I mean, you literally had to get the odds ever in your favor. You got a break there from the craps table, and it just ends up pulling it away from your family member Brian today.
Yeah, man, it was a fun race, and definitely came down to the wire. Unique track here tonight, unique setup. Had a little bit of everything. It was loose on cold tires, tight on the long run, so it had a little bit of everything. But there toward the end in that final stage, it's pretty much just 15 qualifying laps there, back to back to back, and I knew I had the pace, at least on the short run. I was struggling a bit there to figure out that long run pace, but I just decided to pull the trigger there, go around the outside. It seemed like that was the preferred lane after a few laps, so I don't know why Brian gave it to me there, but he gave it up pretty easy, so I went to the outside. And you can unique thing about these cars is you can play with the other car you're trying to pass arrow wise, and I knew exactly what to do to get them loose there on the bottom side, and it worked, and got a bit of breathing room there toward the end and took it to victory lane.
For sure there, and this was definitely one you needed after so many days, weeks, months, really around on our show and on our tracks here. I mean, you had a lot at stake and a lot going on. I know you've been really just trying to get this thing dialed up to get back into victory lane. What does it feel like just to get this thing back on the top of the mountain here after everything you've been through?
Well, I may hit my head on the door frame when I walk out of the room here, for sure. But it feels good. I know a lot of the guys are probably laughing at me. They call me the part-time driver. I only show up when I want to, that sort of thing. And I showed up tonight, and I'd say I got lucky. I got the win. But there's a lot of good guys out there, tough guys to race with that are quick all night long, and had some great battles there, especially in the early half of the race there tonight. And I think it probably would have been a different outcome if we'd have had a longer run there in that last stage. But that's the cards we were dealt, and I'm just happy to take a victory.
You had the cards dealt at the right time in the right place. Kevin, this one belongs to you. You are the All-Stars race winner for 2022 in the IROC Challenge Series. Who do you want to thank for that?
Yeah, just thank Chris Wally and all the guys that make the league happen. Neil Quick, all the Kyle Pendergraph, all the sponsors, Spartan Logistics, R&R Racewear, all those guys. Appreciate you guys doing the broadcasting, and all these guys that come out here every night and definitely put on a good show.
Put on a good show, put on a great battle. Indeed, indeed. Kevin, congratulations. Way long overdue, sir.
Thank you.
Kevin McCann, ladies and gentlemen, number 33 box. This one into victory lane. This one caps off the night for the All-Stars race. Absolutely tremendous, crazy night of racing. And it's all thanks in large part to you fans at home for the votes, for the inverts, for the times, our showgirls down the wheel, and R&R Racewear for everything they've done. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out. As I said before, it's probably one of my favorite calls and probably one of my better calls I think I've had all year, and really just in general with broadcasting. It's amazing how far we've come and how far this community has grown. So the bottom of my heart, I cannot say enough, but thank you for this. So for now, we will dial it off. We'll be back Saturday night with some action, something you haven't seen in a while, and some crazy stuff to come. But for now, thank you so much for everything. I'll catch you guys in the next one.